Got off to a fast start. What did y'all work on the break to get off to that fast start in the opener of the Big Sky play?
I think a lot of it's just staying ready. You know, when you have a long break from games, there's a chance you come back and you're kind of not in your groove. I think the biggest thing is in practice, we just competed a lot. You know, we just went at it, made sure our guys had juice, and that was the biggest thing, I believe.
Yeah, I think when we came back, everybody had a lot of energy. You know, we took some time off and got with our families for the holidays and everything. We came back with a lot of energy, and it's showing. We just got to keep on going.
Talk about the defense in the first half, guys. Pretty much the entire game, you guys kept them under 40% shooting. What does that say to you guys, especially when you start conference play like this?
I say defensively, it wasn't our best. We let a lot of snipers shoot, but I think we just stick to the game plan and we play hard. We play hard and we just try to execute what coach gives us and play every possession like it's our last.
Guys, what do you were looking over the box as we were waiting for everybody to filter in here tonight. What do you see when you look at the box from a game like this? Can I ask you?
I mean, the first thing that I do, and probably Zay also, is you look at what you can improve. You look at a lot of different stats, whether you had turnovers, or you could get more rebounds, missed shots. I think, you know, especially when you're trying to play at a high level, the first thing you're always trying to do is always improve. So that was what I was doing. Probably Zay similarly. So.
Yeah, I see as a team we have a lot of assists and we have more turnovers and then we got to take care of that ball a little bit better. But always try to find what you can improve on and take that and move on to the next day.
What if I can stay with this box for a second, guys? I see those 23 assists to 9 for the Wildcats, and then 24 defensive rebounds. That was a number that in my own way just really kind of jumped out at me. What was and that apparently stayed consistent through the game because I think it was heavily favored at halftime as well. That seems significant. Why and what does that tell you guys?
It 100% is. You know, we've seen it. You know, I think we're the number 2 defensive rebounding team in the nation right now, actually, which is a big thing. And I think it all comes down to everybody doing their job, whether it's guys making sure somebody doesn't get it or guards coming back to the rim and cleaning up those rebounds. So, you know, it's a combination of everybody just taking part.
I'm gonna jump on that. How big a focus was that this past week? Because they are one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league, and you held them to just 6. I mean, it basically was a wash. How much did Coach focus on that the last 3 days?
Yeah, we watched film and we saw there from offensive glass, and we have a goal every game, 80%. Do your job on the glass as a team. So, if we don't get that 80%, consequences are are done in practice. But I feel like everybody holds each other accountable. No one has a sour taste in their mouth if someone holds them accountable. Everyone's grown up and we have great leaders on this team, and we all just do our job at the end of the day.
Sure.
They made a run in the second half, guys, cut things down to 12. What did Coach say to keep you guys focused and not get too riled after that little spurt they had?
I mean, a lot of great teams, they're going to go on a run. They're really talented. And what it came down to is we let their good shooters, their snipers snipe. And he just really told us to clean that up. Because otherwise we were playing hard. It's just, when you let something slip just a little bit, someone can expose it. But, yeah.
Isaiah, you want to take that too, or what?
Yeah, I say when they went on the run, we had like a couple turnovers back to back, and that kind of gave them some energy. And we got to take care of that ball a little bit better. We're a way better team than what we showed turnover-wise. I feel like we can improve on that because we want to be great, but can't let snipers snipe.
How concerned were you guys about number 3, Tomley? As I recall, and it was kind of a while ago, but as I recall, Big Sky tournament. Is that what you were thinking?
Absolutely, yeah. That was our last game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how aware were you about where he was going to be?
Yeah, he's a dangerous player, and we actually talked about it specifically, like you said in film. We said he's only averaging 12 or something right now, but he's a lot better player than it even looks. We saw that last year. He had a few good games against us that last game. So we have a lot of really good guard defenders, and sticking him on there it was a focus to stay on his hip, make sure he doesn't get stuff, no clean looks, and I think we did that well.
How big was it shutting down a guy like Chooch? Who's a big guy in the middle. You didn't have to really come off of him, so that lets your guards not have to rotate back out to 3, and Tomley too. They got a very dangerous backcourt in this league. So how big was it for you and Egan to be able to take them one-on-one tonight and kind of shut down their bigs?
Yeah, that was a question coming into the game. We didn't know how that would look, but Egan and I, I think the focus was just to play the scout, play tough. He's a physical guy, and their other big too, Vucinic, he's a pretty good player too. He's shooting like 67% from the field, almost 70. So that was a focus, but I feel like we both played physical, and that helped us.
Speaking of shooting, Brock, 7 of 10 from the field. What were they giving you to get those nice, good looks tonight?
Really, what it came down to is my teammates finding me. If you see it in the game, it's almost all of them are just easy dump-offs. Zay finding me, Langston finding me. So I give all the credit to my teammates. If it's a wide-open layup, I'm going to be shooting a decent percentage. So, that goes to my teammates for sure.
Isaiah, same thing for you. I mean, you didn't have a bad night from the field, just not as many attempts. But you got George at the free throw line. I know that's something y'all work on. How big is it, if you're not getting them on the floor, just be able to step to the line and knock those down?
Yeah, I just stay aggressive, just read the defense, and they're a pretty high foul team. They foul a lot, and I took that in my head, and I drove to the basket and just read the defense, dropped off to my teammate, or draw a foul, or just hoop at the end of the day.
Is this team more aggressive now than they were early in the year? I remember earlier in the year you were getting 12 to 15 attempts. Last few games you're getting 20, 25, 30 attempts. Is there something that's changed the philosophy, or are y'all just going towards the basketball?
I say we're just being aggressive and just trying to make the right play off to, and find our teammates, and teams, if they can't guard us, they're going to be fouling. So.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead. I know rebounding, defense, all very important, but one thing that I think really jumped out at me tonight was you guys can score. Excuse me. You guys can really score. How has that developed in, we're only 15, 14, 16 games, whatever it is. How has that developed this year, gentlemen?
I mean, especially in the new stage of like college basketball, you're going to get quite a few new guys every year. So there's going to be a little bit of rough patches, when you're trying to figure out how people play. But when it came down to it, I think that we all trust each other. The ball was hot tonight. It was moving from person to person. And, I think just learning and playing with guys more, getting more experience, that always helps. So.
Isaiah, do you want to go?
Yeah, I say, it's still kind of early in the year. We ain't that deep into the year, and we're still learning and growing as a team. And as we get deeper in the year, we haven't hit our peak yet, so we're just going to keep getting better,
If I can just grab one thought, is that something that is? I saw you guys play one other game, I think. Is that scoring something that's been a theme throughout the year? You guys have put up some games with some pretty big points.
Absolutely. We got a lot of talent, and we got a lot of unselfish guys. And when you have an unselfish team, you score. Everybody eats. So, yeah.
Sure.
Taking this win in the open-up conference play in the Saturday's game, what's the mindset and what's the game plan for this next opponent against Iowa State?
I say this is just the expectation every night. We got a bunch of new guys, and we all want to win at the end of the day. Because when you win, everybody eats. So this is the expectation every night to play our hardest and get the win. But in this game, put in the back of our heads, and Iowa State, we gotta lock in and take that serious and handle business. Sure.
Well, I want to jump off on that because you weren't with the team last year. I was courtside watching Brock, Langston, Marcel, those guys. How much have they talked about Idaho State? Idaho State, if you look at it on paper, may or may not be as talented as this Weber State team, but they are a gritty team if they're anything like last year. How much of these guys told the rest of the locker room so you don't have a letdown in 36 hours?
Coaches, they emphasize how hard they play and how aggressive they are, and they're not the talented team, but they're going to fight. So we got to lock in and just lock in really.
Yeah, and it's game to game too. We don't really focus on the next games. It's kind of staying in the present. We really focused on Weber, and then we got to flip a switch and tomorrow focus on Idaho State. Just comes down to kind of being clinical with how we approach games. So.
But how do you tell these guys is you're going into a street fight? Idaho State's not like really anybody else in the league.
Yeah, no, I mean it's something that I enjoy. Like you said, we emphasized it. But a physical game is something that I always look forward to, and I think our team does too. We don't have any guys that are soft. We have guys that will go out there and fight. So.
Like anything else?
Yeah, I was going to ask, students still on break, but obviously you guys have been pretty good at home so far this season. How critical is that going to be when they get back, and then as you start to get to the thick of conference play, that this home court advantage is going to mean big for you guys?
Absolutely. We want as many people there as we can. You know, the more people, the better chance we have to put teams away and hold down home court. So anybody that can come out, any students and all that, you know, it's big time. So, yeah.
You guys got a fun squad to watch, so obviously there's a lot going around really right now that, yeah, UNC men is just really good. So
Absolutely.
I hope that it translates into the stands too. When, you know, like I said, when they come back from break, you'll see more of the students going crazy in this place.
Sir, we hope so.
Sure, keep marketing.
One last question for Zay. Zay, moving from the West Coast to the Big Sky, is it what you thought it was going to be, or is it still too early for you to really figure out what Big Sky plays like?
I say the coaching adjustments and mismatches is definitely different. Like, you gotta be real smart in the way you play. You can't just go out there and just mess around. So I say it's definitely different from West Coast Conference, and you know, it's my first game in the Big Sky, so it's definitely different. But it's just hoop at the end of the day. You just gotta go out there and hoop.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Guys.
Congratulations.